Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Olga is here. For those of you who haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel. Please hit the bell as well to get the latest notifications about the videos I post out there for you guys. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about the eyebrows. I'm going to be giving you guys some tips on how should eyebrows be applied, what I think looks good, what I think doesn't look good. And of course, remember, this is just my opinion. You can totally have a different opinion, and if you like different style of eyebrows, it is totally okay. Remember, this is just a little bit of makeup. It washes off, it doesn't matter, and if you can rock a eyebrowless look, that's great too. I'm going to give you a couple of my tips first on how I apply product. I'm applying. How I apply products onto my eyebrows, how I fill them in, and then I'm going to give you that couple of tips from those techniques that I learned. Precisely, I learned from Wayne Goss. He learned it from somebody, and now I'm sharing it with you. YouTube all goes around and round it goes. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about Instagram eyebrow for a second. Yes, they are beautiful. Yes, Instagram eyebrows can look beautiful on certain people. No, I don't think everybody should be wearing it. The reason I think we should not all be wearing the same brow is because a brow is a very unique thing on our faces. Imagine this, you have a beautiful painting and you are putting it into a very thick, heavy frame. You don't want to be doing that, right? You want to choose a frame that looks right for that certain painting. The same goes for eyebrows. They can really frame your face and make you look beautiful, or they can make your face look really heavy and look like they really don't belong there. So we're gonna talk about that a little bit. Now, do I think that Instagram eyebrows look beautiful? And I just wanna see what you guys think. Share and sound off in the comments down below. I think that because recently, and a lot of us love, of course, going to movies and all of that, we're used to seeing digitalized beauty, you know, the CG effect. We watch all of these beautiful 3D cartoons. We watch movies where the beauty, the actual clean beauty as we know it, I don't know if it exists in the movies anymore, because everything is airbrushed and filtered to the filth. You don't actually see any flaws or imperfections, and I think that somewhere in our minds, and it's probably happening to all of us, I mean, it's happening to me, it's happening to all of us to a certain degree, to the lesser or greater degree. I think we are so much used to seeing such a perfect CG, computer-generated beauty on TV screens everywhere that we're trying to apply that kind of stuff to ourselves, but in real life that doesn't look always the same as what we see through the filter of the TV screen, computer screen, and all of that. Remember, all of those images have been filtered countless times, and I don't even think that the original image looks the same or is the same image as what we perceive through the TV screen and computer. So I think that our perception of beauty is changing. If we see constantly computer-generated beautiful faces, then what we're trying to apply in real life would be that, you know, we're trying to make these harsh lines, you know, perfectly geometric eyebrows, cut creases, all of those things are beautiful. The techniques themselves are beautiful, but are they necessary? And this is where I think I want to kind of have that fine line. I do like certain techniques about Instagram brow. For one, by the way, these brows are not done, so do not try to judge them. I specifically did not fill them in because I wanted to show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to scoot you closer and we're going to talk about different brushes that I use to fill my eyebrows and what techniques I would apply. And also we're going to talk about the microblading effect that you can create with makeup without going through the actual procedure of microblading your eyebrows. Because remember, microblading is kind of like miniature injuries to your eyebrows. They have to heal, they are sore, they're painful. Why do that? You can create that effect with makeup. I'm going to show you how, and then in the description I'm going to link the original source so you can actually learn how it's done properly. Because remember, I'm not a makeup artist, I'm just a makeup enthusiast. And talking about where this whole thing comes full circle with the Instagram brow. This is what I see a lot. People will take their eyebrow and they will fill it in completely. And this is a clean brush. I'm just kind of using it as an example. And then what they will do is they will take a concealer, usually something like Tarte Shape Tape, put some of that on the brush, and then they'll carve the eyebrow where they made mistakes, and then they will pat it and they will have this filled in eyebrow, which is totally fine, by the way. If you love that sort of thing, great, good for you. I'm glad you can rock it. And then they will go in with something like this, Anastasia Beverly Hills brow gel or any other gel. It's totally fine. And then they will apply the gel, whether it be with the pigment, without pigment, anyway, to kind of seal that effect. We know all of that, that's great. It's kind of like a quick rundown of what you do. But why I am fascinated with that makeup effect that kind of imitates microblading, I'll explain. I've been looking at all these Instagram eyebrows, and I do them too sometimes. I mean, although it's a very harsh look for me. But in real life, and this is where I'm talking about CG effect. In real life, what we have when an eyebrow is normal, like meaning that it grows, you have hairs, you have spaces between those hairs. It's not like everything is just filled in and one color. It's not natural. You can do that, but it's not how it grows. You do see spaces between. And what that microblading effect does is that what they're doing is, with makeup, I'm talking about not real microblading, they will comb the brow first, okay? And then they would go into the product like this, Anastasia Beverly Hills product right here. And then if you have something like this, and I have a couple of these brushes, what you would do is you will put some of this product onto the brush, and why you are doing something like this is so that you can evenly distribute the product on your brush and not have gobs of product somewhere where you would end up with uneven texture. You don't want that, obviously, right? So you want to kind of create like a spatula effect, you know, really even this product out on this brush right here. And then what you're going to do is you would start applying in hair strokes. You know, you would be imitating hair strokes. Remember, I will attach the original video so you can see how it's done properly, because like I said, I'm not an expert in it. I just think it's a fascinating technique and really worthy of my learning and sharing with you guys. The reason that mine doesn't look like that is because, like I said, I'm not a pro at this, and because I do have a lot of hair, so I really can't really show you what that looks like now. Because what I really need to be doing is filling in the gaps where I'm missing the hairs, and that would be my trick. But what I ultimately want to do is I want to have spaces in between hair. Now, that would be going this direction, you know, when you're drawing up. But what about the other direction? Because remember, I just now created this beautiful arch right here, but what about all of this? Like if I lower my head, you will see this bold space right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm brushing my eyebrow down. As you can see, now we see all of the bold patches where I'm missing the hair from over plucking and excessive threading. By the way, I'm no longer doing threading, you guys. And now what I can do is I can fill all of this area where I'm missing my hair. You see? And basically, that, my friends, is going to create a more natural looking brow. Then what I'm gonna do is brush it back. I have filled in what I'm missing in this area right here. And then I can, of course, work on extending it. Now, this is a tricky part. Personally, when I'm watching that video and I'm thinking to myself, this particular brush that I'm showing is still a large brush, because unless you have really huge eyebrows going on, I think this is large. So I would go smaller. Now let me tell you what this is. This is an e.l.f. brush, no doubt affordable. I got these e.l.f. brushes at Target. I like them because they are affordable and you can get really nice variety. I'm gonna show you a couple of more examples of what I would do and how I would work with these brushes and what choices you have if you have smaller brows, that this choice is just a little too much. Now, this is a very old brush. In fact, one of my very first one. This is a Lancome brush. As you can see, it's even larger, but this would be really good like if you do have large eyebrows, like maybe yours are longer and thicker and you have a bigger surface to work with. Now I'm going to show you something else here. Wayne Goss new collection number 8. Here's your other one. You see, they're all pretty much the same size, the same length, and I want to work with something smaller, even smaller. So what I'm going to show you is this beauty right here, and why I'm putting them right next to each other, you guys, so you can really see. You see this brush over here? This one is Ray Morris, and I believe it's number 17. Look how much smaller this is. So yes, you can do like a winged eyeliner with these brushes. And you can really work these square brushes when you need to work your mascara, not your mascara. If you want to work in your eyeshadows into your lash line, these are really perfect because that would give you that really fine geometric line and you could really fill in the product in there. Now, but they're big for what I'm trying to do. Ray Morris, number 17, you see how much smaller this is? This is truly delicate. And finally, pièce de résistance is Wayne Goss number 8. So this one is also Wayne Goss number 8. And all of this is sheep hair in Wayne Goss. I'm talking about Wayne Goss's brushes. This one is from his newer collection. As you can see, it's a larger one. And this one is not dyed. This one is from his previous collection. I think it's still available. In fact, I am going to look it up and tell you guys if it's still available. But basically, this is number 8 from his previous collection, and I adore it because this is just right. I mean, it is small, granted, but that's what's going to allow me to really go in and really fill in that stuff I'm telling you about. Now, this stuff is great. However, now that I've been working with it, as you can see, mine is a little bit dried up. So what I'm gonna do is I will show you what I've been using recently. I have featured these products in my previous video. This is from the Lancome gift set right here, you guys. And depending how I feel, my eyebrows are naturally black, but sometimes I want them a bit brown because I do have lighter color. And I just put a little bit of this onto the brush. Wayne Goss number 8. I go in and really try to fill this in, you see, and that allows me to really have better control than those larger ones, and they are okay. Now, if I want, and then I just continue this way, I go this way, and I can kind of build longer brow. And then, if I want to give that more carved look, then I would turn it this way and basically run a line. And then again, if I want to bring it closer to the bridge of my nose, I pretend as if I'm drawing hair strokes. Just so, you know, if I want to really fill it in, and then I can just wipe the excess, or I can carve the excess off with the concealer. So there is that filled eyebrow. Oh, and of course, do remember, comb it through and then comb it down. I'm gonna show it again. Comb it down and make sure you fill in all of this stuff. The hair grows differently in this area, and you don't want to leave any bald patches. When you comb it back, you are combing it back in the direction of the hairs, and then you can follow the direction this way. And again, you can comb it a little bit more. If you see any extras that are too long, you can use your scissors and snip off the excess, the ones that are too long, or you can just brush it in this direction to kind of put it back where it belongs. And then you can use your brow gel, and there you have it. And you have a perfect, well, maybe it's not a perfect, but in my book it's pretty good eyebrow. Where does the Instagram brow fit in here? Lately, this is what I do. If I do want an Instagram brow or something close, I would then carve underneath with a concealer, but I am not carving up top right here. What I'm really doing is I'm leaving this area a bit more like a raw beauty type of situation, where I want you to see that I have hair. I feel like if you carve, and let me just do it for you so you see what I'm talking about. Let me put some concealer and I'll carve the eyebrow. With carving them, what I do is, in order to not contaminate the concealer, I would put some on my wrist like this, or if you have something like that, you can put your product on a little palette. And then I would go in with a very tiny brush like this. This is Real Technique brush. And or you can go with something like this. This is a bit wider, and this is e.l.f. brush. But this allows you more control. I feel like it's kind of stiff, so this will give you better control. And this one is a Real Technique from the lip collection. This is wider, but again, this is good for carving your cut crease. And again, this gives you better control. What I also like is Ray Morris. Now, this is beautiful. This is a very fine tip. And what this does is that with this you can create the finest detail. The problem with the brushes, especially the brushes for the eyes and brows, I feel like these days, majority of the time, if I try to go and buy brushes, I would end up with brushes that are like this type of situation, you know, where they are great for blending eyeshadows, they're great for application of eyeshadows, but what I want to get is what's locked up in the Michaels cabinets and the brushes. And well, how come it's $200? It's the tiniest brushes that will really give you this perfect whip snap effect, and really you have a better control with the application of your product. Now, as you can see, I put the Tarte Shape Tape concealer onto the Ray Morris brush, and now I can do the carving. And here we're carving. This is my carved eyebrow underneath. I'm not going to carve at the top because I feel like if I start carving there, I'm sort of becoming very choppy, you know, like here's your forehead, here's your eyebrow, here's your cut crease. If you are going for that geometric CG effect, that's totally fine. And first of all, I have nothing against that. It's makeup. It washes off. It's not a big deal. And I do love it on other people. When I'm saying I don't like something, usually I'm pertaining to myself. I don't like it on me. But it doesn't mean that it doesn't work for other people. So when I say that, take it lightly. When you can use something like this, and then you would try to kind of, you know, pull this product down and really clean up your work. What I have found out is that the finger is the best brush when it comes to blending what you have carved. Because if you don't have a long nail, you can really blend your work. And ultimately, what you're having is a very lightened up area right here. In a sense, your concealer that you used to carve is acting like a primer. So now you can actually apply a beautiful highlighter on top of that and really bring forward that brow effect that you have created. So there you go. It's given me instantly this lifted brow. It looks clean, it looks geometric, it looks cut, you know, it looks nice. And then it's basically setting the stage for eyeshadow. So I set the stage. Now I can really see where my eyeshadow should end, because remember, your eyeshadow, when you are putting it on, should not extend or overly extend beyond the tip of your brow, because then you're bringing down here into your temple, and we don't want that. Couple of points towards the end of the video. Brushes are important. Not just the blending brushes for your eyeshadows, but you want to be going for something like this. And you don't have to go expensive. You don't have to buy, oh, well, not everybody can afford Wayne Goss's brushes or Ray Morris. True, very much true. And you don't have to, because remember, Target sells e.l.f. If you love Morphe brushes, go for Morphe. They have a lot. If you love Sigma brushes, great, that's excellent. You can do those affordable brushes. You can actually go and Google crown brushes, and then you will find out where Morphe brushes come from. Oops. And that would be your affordable brush. You don't have to go expensive. And once you build up your skill and you feel a little bit more savvy with brushes and you are in a better place where you can go and afford more expensive brush, go for it. Concealer, very important for carving your brushes. You don't have to have Tarte Shape Tape. For longest time, I've used CoverGirl. That's fine too. They have great concealers. Maybelline, Fit Me, they have great concealers. No need to go expensive. If you don't even have that, use a foundation. Use foundation to cut your eyebrows. Also, foundation and concealer can be used as primer. You can set the stage on your eyelid with these products. You don't have to have a separate primer. Absolutely unnecessary. And then use a setting powder on top to really set it, so then it allows you to better apply the product. Like I said, I would recommend leaving the upper area not carved with the concealer. Do not go for that CG effect. It is only real in real cool movies and cartoons. We do not live in CG world. Leave it for Instagram. But in real life, allow a little bit of that wild beauty to come through. It is amazing. Clean beauty is beautiful. We don't need to make it more beautiful. Let's not reinvent the wheel. If you want a sharper, thinner nose, bring your eyebrow closer to your nose bridge. Because if you end it right here, you're going to end up with a wider nose, even if you don't have a wide nose. I have a wider bridge and I have a crooked Bulgarian nose, which is totally fine. I'm not going to go do rhinoplasty, and that's that. But because I can fix all of that with makeup, so I just bring my eyebrow closer to over here. That's what I've been doing. That's the beauty of the thing. If you don't have an brow gel, don't worry about it. You can spray hairspray onto a brush like this. That would be your setting of your eyebrows. You don't have to have this. Don't go expensive. You can go cheap and totally rock it. If you don't have time for any of that, get a brush like this. This was $1 at Target. And before you go to work, just comb through your brows and you will be amazed. This is a total game changer. Do not just roll out of bed and do your hair and then leave your eyebrows undone. Remember, they are hairs too. So if you are combing your hair, you want to be combing your eyebrows as well. I hope that these tips are really helpful. Do let me know down below in the comments what you think. Do you think that CG movies and cartoons are causing us to try to be more CG? I want to hear. Let's start the juices of the conversation flowing. Let me know what you think of Instagram brows. Please do not send any hate towards me. I just want love to go around for everybody. Let's spread some love, good feelings and all of that, you guys. And I will see you all in my next video. Please give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. And I'll see you all soon. Love you. Cheers. Bye.